It was a cold and gray Thursday afternoon when Amanda Royce's life changed, though, at first glance, it seemed like the worst part of her day. Amanda wasn't just anyone. She was the CEO of one of New York's top real estate firms, a woman featured in Forbes and respected across the business world. With her perfectly tailored navy coat, diamond-studded Rolex, and Bentley Bentayga purring along the back roads of upstate New York, Amanda was the kind of woman who had it all, at least on paper. But that afternoon, fate had other plans. She had taken a detour, a rare moment of spontaneity to clear her head after a grueling investor call. Her car, however, didn't appreciate the scenic route. With a sudden jolt and the unmistakable thump-thump-thump of a flat tire, Amanda was forced to pull over on a desolate stretch of road. No cell reception. No other cars in sight. Just a bitter wind and a useless flat tire. She sighed, staring at the tire, completely out of her element. Her manicured hands had never touched a jack. She opened the trunk and stared blankly at the spare, like it might fix itself if she just looked hard enough. That's when she heard a voice behind her. "You need help, ma'am." Startled, Amanda turned to find a teenage boy in worn sneakers and a faded hoodie. He couldn't have been more than 17, his hands stuffed deep into the pockets of his thin jacket. Behind him was an old rust-red bike leaned up against a tree. "I'm fine," she replied stiffly, instinctively clutching her purse. But the boy didn't flinch. "It's okay. I live just down the road. I've changed a bunch of tires. I can do it for you, no charge." "No charge?" she asked, raising an eyebrow. "Why would you help me?" He shrugged. "Because you need help. And I can." Amanda hesitated. There was something in his eyes, not desperation, not even expectation, just quiet sincerity. Against every instinct she developed in a lifetime of business dealings, she nodded. "Fine. If you mess up my car, though." "I won't," he said, already moving toward the trunk with confidence. For the next 15 minutes, Amanda stood aside, half annoyed, half curious, as the boy worked quickly. His hands were dirty, his nails stained with grease. He moved like someone who'd done this a dozen times, maybe more. Every few minutes, he flashed a polite smile, occasionally asking her questions, about her job, the city, the kind of life she led. She gave vague answers, unsure why she was even entertaining the conversation. But there was something disarming about him. When the spare was finally on and tightened, Amanda reached into her purse and pulled out a crisp $100 bill. "Here," she said. "For your time." He looked at the bill for a moment, then shook his head. "I told you, no charge." Amanda frowned. "Why would you turn this down?" The boy shrugged. "Because sometimes doing something good is enough." Amanda was stunned. In her world, favors came with price tags, and kindness was usually just leverage in disguise. She looked closer at the teen. His hoodie was fraying at the sleeves. His shoes had holes. He was poor, that much was obvious. But he carried himself with a quiet dignity she rarely saw in boardrooms full of millionaires. "What's your name?" she asked. "Devon." "Devon," she repeated, thoughtfully. "You live nearby?" He nodded. "Just up that hill. Me and my grandma." She thanked him again, and he gave her a small nod before hopping back on his bike and pedaling away into the gray drizzle. But Amanda didn't drive off. She sat in her car, something gnawing at her. She couldn't stop thinking about Devon. About the simplicity of what he'd said, sometimes doing something good is enough. That sentence echoed in her mind louder than any boardroom pitch she'd ever heard. Later that night, she couldn't sleep. Her world felt suddenly hollow. Expensive, yes, but hollow. The marble countertops, the penthouse view, the luxury spa appointments, none of it felt like it mattered. The next morning, Amanda drove back to that stretch of road. Then up the hill where Devon had pointed. What she found was a worn-out trailer with peeling paint, a crooked porch, and a small garden overrun by weeds. She knocked gently. The woman who answered was thin, frail, eyes tired, but warm. "Is Devon here?" Amanda asked. The woman smiled proudly. "Out working. He does odd jobs for neighbors, saves up for college." Amanda paused. "College? He wants to study mechanical engineering. Said he's gonna build things that matter. Smart kid, always helping folks around here." That was the moment Amanda knew she was going to do something she'd never done before. In the weeks that followed, Amanda arranged a scholarship in Devon's name. Quietly. Anonymously. She used her connections to find sponsors, created a trust fund, and ensured that Devon, and even others from his community, could get a chance at the future they deserved. Months later, Amanda received a letter. It was handwritten, shaky, but full of emotion. "I don't know who did this, but someone gave me a future. I've been accepted into the University of Michigan. I'm going to study engineering like I always dreamed. My grandma cried when we found out. I just wanted to say thank you, to whoever believed in me. I promise I'll pay it forward. Devon." Amanda sat quietly, the letter trembling in her hands. She never replied. She didn't need to. Because for the first time in her life, she understood the kind of wealth that really mattered, the kind that didn't come with contracts or headlines. The kind that came from a flat tire, and a boy on a rusty bike.